Edward Donaldson has his hands full on his cattle station not far from the struggling town of Alpha in Queensland's central west. He's hoping a new coal-fired power station will revitalise his bush community.
And there's not too many young people coming back out on the land. They're all going away getting trades, so you might produce more jobs and keep more people in the actual township of Alpha.
An unreliable power supply is a serious problem for Alpha's 350 residents.
We have major power issues like brownouts, we have blackouts constantly.
What's happening here is highly unusual. In the midst of an international push to achieve net zero emissions to limit the worsening impacts of climate change, the tiny Barcaldine Regional Council is about to decide whether a coal-fired power station should be built.
It's now political reality as to whether these things happen and a financial reality whether the projects can secure financial backing. We have to assume that they will proceed and assess accordingly.
The logical thing to do is to replace coal-fired power stations with very low, if not zero, emission technologies because, as all our governments have committed, including the Commonwealth Government, the objective is net zero, and in that world, no coal-fired power station makes any sense.
This farm is where Waratah Coal wants to build the power station. Each year, 4 million tonnes of coal is needed, which would come from another Palmer proposal, the massive Galilee Coal project. The power would then supply the mine and areas of central Queensland.
One thing we have seen is a call or a dependency for baseload power, so that has to be generated somehow, and clearly we're seeing all manner of renewables working hard in that space.
Almost certainly, in the lifetime of this plant, if it does get built, we will have a serious constraint on greenhouse gas emissions, and this plant will either pay a lot more money to emit greenhouse gases, or it will close down.
Announcing with the Premier today what's Australia...
Waratah Coal first proposed the power station in 2009, but that state process lapsed.
I'm hoping it does go ahead. 10 years is a long time, I guess.
Now a council decision is imminent.
That a decision is probably going to be required before Christmas.
It's a $3 billion proposal minimum. Has council ever assessed a $3 billion proposal?
No. The impact of a power station of any nature of this size is significant. For that to be left in the determiner of a local government is peculiar.
The Barcaldine Regional Council planning scheme is there to assess things as people building a pool in their backyard or a shed in the backyard, not a 1,400 megawatt coal-fired power station.
I'm on my way to the Bimblebox Nature Refuge, which is just a few k's down the road. The company claims air and noise emissions won't have a significant impact on Bimblebox, but 730 understands the people running the refuge haven't been consulted.
None at all to my knowledge. It's outrageous. I mean, a coal-fired power station is a no-brainer in the age where, you know, the IPCC and the IEA are saying there's no more coal mines.
At Bimblebox, they're doing everything they can to stop the power station and the Galilee Coal project, which would see an area of the refuge being mined. John Brenand is involved in a legal challenge to the mine.
Here you have hundreds of species of vegetation and also fauna. You can't offset this. There is nowhere else like this nearby in the desert uplands. If this is lost, it's lost.
The potential benefits are obvious for Mayor Sean Dillon, like the development of this land that's been vacant for more than a decade.
These areas are greenfield sites waiting for a developer to walk in.
If the power station goes ahead, 1,000 workers will be needed during construction and 90 during operation, and some may live here.
We would just like someone to come in and say, right, this is our plan and we're going to go ahead with it and this is how it's going to happen. Like at the moment, we don't know. We're living in limbo land.
Documents obtained exclusively by 730 through right to information laws show key details about Waratah's power station. costing up to $3.5 billion, producing power by 2024, burning coal for 30 to 50 years at a lower emissions intensity than existing coal stations.
The government in Queensland has a very strong commitment to 50% renewables by 2030. So now we will need more transmission and we will need storage. We just don't need the capacity of a new power station.
730 has gained access to an email where council raises serious concerns directly with Waratah, including what would happen to the power station if the mine does not proceed, where the water was coming from if mine water was unavailable, and the need for a decommissioning plan if the project was abandoned.
Where's the water coming from? What impact's that going to have on the environment, which obviously the Department of Environment and Science will be quite interested in as well.
730 requested an interview with Waratah Coal last Thursday and sent a list of questions this week, but despite repeated follow-ups, we've received no response. While the Queensland Government says the new power plant is not needed, environmentalists are urging it to intervene and ensure the climate impact is fully assessed.
Not having its emissions being assessed is an outrage. This is something that the Queensland Government has the power now, the call-in powers of the Minister, to refuse this project, or at least to call that project in and have those impacts properly assessed.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.